Hey, my friends. So I am here. Uh, one, to let family members know that I am fine. Rusty is safe. But mainly, I wanted to just send my condolences to uh, anyone who either lost their lives or lost their homes in these various fires happening around Los Angeles. I am acutely aware of how lucky I am to be safe in my apartment with my dog and dealing with stress, but I still have a roof over my head. So I just am sending love and positive energy, and I am chanting. I'm a Buddhist, so I'm chanting every day for the health and well being of my fellow Los Angelinos, and especially those who have lost their homes, who unfortunately may have lost loved ones or pets. I mean, it is, as someone who is in Los Angeles dealing with just the chaos of um, not knowing if a fire may be heading in my direction, I uh, I'm trying very hard not to get wrapped up in fear and getting stressed out unnecessarily about all these things going on because it's not really going to help anyone. Um, and I still have my apartment, and um, yeah, the air quality is for crap. And you know, the worst I'm dealing with are irritated contacts from all the smoke, and I'm gonna start looking for my mask again to wear that when I go out because even with the sun out, um, this air quality is just, you know, I'm feeling it. Um, but that is, you know, manageable stuff. I haven't lost a home. I haven't lost a loved one. I haven't lost a pet. So my heart goes out to those who have. And I just want those people to know that there are other people in Los Angeles who care about what they're going through and are praying um, for things to turn around for them. Um, I don't know. I just felt the need to make this video because one, uh, it's just such a crazy time to be living here with uh, the fires raging and not really knowing when this stuff is going to end. And I know there's some worries that the winds are going to pick up this week and may create more issues. I hope that isn't the case. Um, but I don't know. It's like it, everyone in the city is having a panic attack or a stress, you know, or going through a stressful communal experience. On one level, the great thing that happens whenever there's some sort of tragic event is that you know people tend to come together, and it's been nice to see that, seeing just how people who aren't displaced, aware of how lucky they are to have everything still intact despite the fires, but at the same time, while it's in no way on the same level, if you've lost your home, you know, or anything from these fires, I can't imagine, what. those folks are going through. But at the same time, everybody living in the Los Angeles area is going through some level of something because this is our home, and it's literally ablaze either from the natural issues of the winds and the fire, just kind of embers leapfrogging to different areas. But there's also, from what I understand, arsonists who, for God knows what reason, find this amusing to destroy people's lives and destroy their own homes. So I don't get it. So it's a stressful time to be here because so many people have been displaced that it's difficult to feel like things are going on as normal. But I'm sure to a certain degree it is for some folks. But there's just this energy of exhaustion because, quite frankly, you just don't know if you're going to get an evacuation warning in your area. So you kind of have to be like half awake to be, conscious of, is there a warning going off? Do I need to have an evacuation plan? And I'll be honest, I've been one of those people who's lived in this city for a long time and haven't had an earthquake plan, but I am going to be getting myself together, some stuff, because it's not just for me, but for Rusty as well, that need to have a bag in case, God forbid, the fires continue and I have to be evacuated. I want to make sure Rusty is going to be okay and not too thrown off by everything. So I know I can't allow myself to get too worked up or stressed out because I don't want to be freaking him out. But at the same time, it feels like this has been going on forever, and I don't know how contained these fires are because I can't watch the news 24/7. It's draining to be constantly thinking about things and also just worrying about friends who have lost their homes or displaced, and it's just a lot going on. So I just wanted to put this out, and I hope this doesn't sound stupid or Pollyanna, but the thing that has helped me is talking to another friend of mine who happens to be a Buddhist as well, and she called me just to see how I was doing, because we tend to kind of think along the same lines. So when she was stressing out, she called just to see how I was, and I was stressing out as well. But it was nice to just to be able to talk to somebody and for them to understand, what I'm going through and remind me of the importance of laughter and giving yourself a break from the stress and the drama that you're going through. So for whatever it's worth, to those who have gone through the worst end of this fire nightmare, losing your home or a loved one or a pet, give yourself the grace of, one, remembering what's important, which is that your family members are alive, hopefully, and you are as well. and that things can be replaced, memories can't be taken from you. But I understand. I mean, it's this is the strangest thing. Um, my mom passed away a few years ago, and one of the things that I brought with me to Los Angeles is this cookie jar. It's like a big teddy bear with a cap. It's a cookie jar, and it just whenever I see it, it reminds me of my mom and of my childhood. And that was the thing that reminded me, you know what? I need to have a plan for myself that if I have to evacuate, that I know what are the things that I want to save. And yeah, I mean, my life will not end if I lose that ceramic cookie jar, but I'm reminded of that's something that's important to me as opposed to all this other kind of, crappy stuff that I've collected into clutter. I could, you know, survive without many of those things, but there's certain things that you want to try and protect, like Rusty, and just those things that remind me of my family who are no longer here. So I get it for those who don't have uh, or didn't have the opportunity to get things to save, or were only able to save a few things. Um, Treasure those things. And I don't know how to say this other than that. Find reasons to laugh and to be happy despite all these things going on, because I can't imagine it is mentally or physically healthy to be living in a state of stress for so long. Um, Talking with my friend Virginia when she called me last night, I didn't even realize it, but as I was talking, I just started venting out about just feeling, out of sorts, out of sync with my life, because this stuff has kind of just made everything one kind of chaotic, because you don't know if you're going to get an evacuation warning in your area. So I literally can't afford to not be prepared for that. But at the same time, you've got friends who have lost their homes. You have friends who are also stressed out because they don't know where is safe, because they're arsonists, apparently, adding their 2 cents to this, nightmare. So it's really important, I think, to give yourself a distraction, whether it's talking to a friend or a family member and venting out how you're feeling, or just turning on a TV set and putting on a comedy and laughing and giving yourself time away from worrying about what's coming next. Because I'll be honest, with all of these fires and all this devastation, while I haven't lost my home to the fire, depending upon how all this is handled, if the cost of living in Los Angeles goes up, I don't know how easy it's going to be to, stay here. So I don't want to leave Los Angeles. I don't want to leave my home. And even though I didn't live in the areas affected, like I've been to Pacific Palisades, I've been to Malibu, I've been to the Getty Villa, and all that's gone. So I can't imagine for those who live there, their communities are literally wiped out. Uh, you gotta, everybody's processing this stuff. I hope I'm making sense with this. Part of my doing this is one, for me, just to kind of get unstuck from the kind of stress of living through this. Uh, but I don't know, I'm rambling. I just feel like it's important uh, for those of us living in the city to strike some sort of healthy balance and make sure you don't get too wrapped up in worrying about either a friend or a family member or your own situation that you make yourself sick. Because it's just, I don't know how to describe it. I've never actually felt this way before, where it's just like anxiety and worry because, as far as I know, the fires aren't 100% contained. So each new day can bring something unexpected. So prepare yourself in whatever way you can. And if you can, just find ways to laugh and to distract yourself and give yourself a break because you're going to have to deal with this stuff anyway. So give yourself time to recharge and think about the things that bring you happiness so that when you have to deal with all of this sadness, it's not so overwhelming. Easy for me to say, I know, but I just felt the need to say it. I live by myself. Rusty doesn't give a damn about what I have to say about anything, but I just wanted to just um, let people know I'm thinking about them. I'm sending out positive vibes as much as I can. I know that sounds stupid, but when you can't do anything, holding a good thought, you know, for other people sometimes is all you can do. So I try and make sure when I interact with people that I smile, I say hello to total strangers, tell them to be safe, be careful, because we're all in this together. And for those people outside of Los Angeles who feel the need to um, trash the firefighters who are putting their lives at risk or public officials, this is not the time. I don't want to hear it. It's just adding exhaustion to something that we don't need to deal with. Well, there'll be time when all of this is done to look back and see what things can be improved upon. But this is not the time to be threatening to hold emergency funding to California for political reasons. It's just ugly. And it just adds a stress to those of us living here to worry about what our lives going to be like because somebody wants to take advantage of our hardship. So please be kind to others. This is just the beginning of 2025. God help us if this is how the rest of this year goes. I am choosing to try and focus on the positive and pray for those who are going through the hardest parts of this, uh, and just learn to be kind to myself as well. Uh, okay, I've rambled on enough. I just want to let my fellow Los Angelinos know people care about you, and I hope you are all safe. And I will try and get back to making videos about living my best life. I'm well acquainted with the concept of starting your life from scratch, which is kind of part of what uh, this channel is about. Starting my life from scratch and learning to live my best life. You have to learn to live it despite the tragedies that may come. That's the one thing I've gotten from this Buddhist practice is that life happens. Good things happen, bad things happen. You just got to keep moving forward. And if anything, this has kind of strengthened my Buddhist practice, in that it's reminding me that I can't afford to get stuck in the stress and the anxiety of all this uncertainty. I just have to pick myself up from where I am and move forward and not lose uh, the joy of being alive and the joy of living in Los Angeles, because I don't care what other people think about this city. I think Los Angeles is a great place to live. And there's a good mix of people from all walks of life who live here, all political persuasions, and I'm friends with just about everybody. So that to me is what's important. Learning to distinguish what really matters is what I'm getting out of this whole experience. I want 2025 to be a year of positive change. And I want my life to be moving in a positive direction. And I want that for everybody else that can hear this video, whether you live in Los Angeles or not. So it's times like this that you have to really remember we're all in this together. So I wish you all well. Thank you for listening, and be kind to each other. Okay, bisous.